I've just been denied access to Britain's largest arms fair, where over 50 Israeli arms firms have been allowed to exhibit their weapons. We came down here today having got an email late last night saying we wouldn't be allowed in, to try and ask for a reason from the press office, from the organisers of this event, because I've actually been let in 3 times before, twice when I was working for Declassified. But this is the queue behind me just to get through security to speak to anyone from the event staff. We've tried emailing, we've not had any response, and we've just had this blanket refusal out the blue. We registered in April and repeatedly chased them, and they seem to have sat on it and decided to wait until 4:30 yesterday to finally give us a decision. It seems like they've got something to hide, because why wouldn't they want us to come in to the event this year? I should say this is the first time that it's been held under a Labour government since Declassified launched. We've been let in under the Conservative governments, and I was able to doorstep the then Defence Secretary Ben Wallace. Secretary Wallace, are your relations with the Saudi regime appropriate, given they orchestrated the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi?
Saudis have been our friends for many, many, many decades.
And Defence Minister James Hepe about arms sales to Saudi Arabia, which were a real issue in those years because of the war in Yemen. This event markets itself as the main arms show in the UK, and yet they don't want journalists from Declassified to come in, despite the fact that we are one of the main media outlets covering the arms trade and particularly arms exports to Israel. We know that companies like Elbit Systems and Rafael, who is an Israeli state-owned company, is going to be exhibiting here today. We've been to their stalls in previous years, but given what's happening in Gaza, and I think the amount of impact that our journalism is having, they clearly seem too afraid to let us in this time. I spoke to the press freedom group Reporters Without Borders, and they said that this was an anti-democratic move, and it suggests that the event organisers have something to hide. Now, when I say event organisers, I should be clear. Although there's a private company called Clarion that officially runs the event, behind the scenes, and barely one step removed, is the Ministry of Defence, the Foreign Office and the Department for Business, who are heavily involved in managing this event because they see it as a huge opportunity to sell British weapons to delegations from around the world, including lots of repressive regimes that come here. The keynote speech opening the event this morning is from Maria Eagle. She is the Defence Procurement Minister, and she's heavily involved in deciding whether Elbit Systems should win a £2 billion contract to train the British military. That's obviously something that we would have liked to ask her about had we been let in today, but sadly we won't get that opportunity.
While the organisers were able to block independent media from getting inside the venue, they weren't able to prevent pro-Palestine protesters from gathering near one of the entrances.
You can hear some of the anger from protesters behind me, and the police and security are getting very physical. They are heckling at the arms dealers on their way in, reminding them that they are going to an exhibition with over 50 Israeli arms companies exhibiting weapons that have been battle-tested in Gaza. I believe this gentleman behind me actually went to Gaza as a nurse, and he's seen firsthand the devastation that these weapons do.
As a nurse, it's horrific. When you see the larger drones land and when you see the larger bombs land, what they call collateral damage are grandmothers, grandfathers, children in playgrounds. And when you walk into them, you'll get the initial impact zone where you have vaporized people who are literally like slurry on the ground. Then you get people that have literally been killed by the blast and blown to pieces. And then around that is the most shocking, because you get people who are in shock and they've lost limbs and they're shaking and screaming on the ground. I can't really give you the picture, but the smell of blood, the smell of it's like petrol, and the smell of feces, because the blasts have caused people to release their bowels and the such like. But it's the shaking, and it's the panic, and it's the lack of the ability to comprehend what has happened to the body because it has suffered major trauma is what sticks with me. I've seen hundreds of dead people, thousands of them, but it's the people that are alive that I couldn't help, that I had to walk past to go and help people I could potentially help, those people will never leave my mind. I've had to put babies together because of people like this, inventing weapons that burn children in their beds, that blow up villages, that are launched against innocent people. In modern warfare, 43 to 60% of its casualties are innocent people. In Palestine, it's 83 to 89% innocent people. Proud fathers and mothers just trying to go through their day and bring up their children, and these people are making money by killing them.